Hi everyone, my name is Nazanin. I'm a PhD student under the supervision of Professor Dr. Balakrishnan in University of Cyberjaya. So I would like to give a brief introduction of Professor Dr. Balakrishnan. So Honorable Professor Dr. Balakrishnan has done his PhD in Wollongong, Australia, Master in the field of IR and HR in Stirling, UK, and Bachelor in Social Science in US and Malaysia. Prof. Bala is also a founding president of Malaysia Industrial Relations and Human Resource Association, or MIRHA, since 2020. Professor Dr. Bala has 26 years experience in university, UMS 17 years, and University of Malaysia Kelantan 9 years. And also Prof. Bala has invited as a professor since 2013. I would like to add on that Prof. Bala is the advisor of Bursa Young Investor Club UMK since 2021. And Professor Dr. Bala is also the patron of Lavender Literary Club India as well. In addition to all these, Professor Dr. Balakrishnan is the adjunct professor of University of Cyberjaya, Malaysian University of Science and Technology, as well as Masa University in Malaysia. Prof. Bala is also a senior research fellow of National Research Human Centre, HRD Corp, Ministry of HR Malaysia. Professor Dr. Bala has published around 18 books and more than 200 articles. And also, Prof. Bala has invited as a panel expert of TV and radio talk show on entrepreneurship, business, and HR and IR as well. Hi, Prof. We are glad to have you here, and thanks for giving me the opportunity.
Okay, good night and good evening, especially to MC today. I forgot his name. And also, I'd like to thanks to Naza who is introduced me just now. Thank you very much. You briefly introduced, and she was also my PhD student, currently studying in Cyberjaya University. First of all, I would like to welcome all the speakers, distinguished speakers from India and also from Malaysia. And also, especially, I welcome all the participants. I believe you all come from all over India, from north until the south India, and also some of you from Malaysia or Indonesia will be joining us. And I was a patron for this international webinar, conference and workshop, especially organized by Cat Comorin Trust, who is led by Dr. Regina, the president, and also Lavender Literacy Club, also the man behind for this congress, actually Dr. Frank Jason, who, and also co-organized by Malaysian Industrial Relations and Human Resource Management, and I'm the founding president. Just recently joined 2 years ago with support from the Dr. Ganesan, who are not able to be here today. He also our chairman for this congress, and he's actually a senior lecturer in Institute of Teaching Training College in Ipoh, Perak, Malaysia. And first of all, for today webinar is actually about international webinar workshop on research methodology and manuscript writing. And I think we are organizing this webinar for last 2 or 3 years through online, and we got a lot of response from all our participants, especially from the young scholars, PhD students, masters, and also lecturers, from the level of young lecturers until the professors. And just inform all of you, we are actually working towards basically 3 countries actively involved, especially Malaysia, India, and also Indonesia. We are working close with them, and some speakers also come from Africa. Soon after, I will invite one of the speakers from South Africa. He was with us for a long time in UMK. Now he's actually lecturing in South Africa and Durban. And I think I also want to connect to Africa because I believe Africa is unexplored nation, and they are doing so much thing in there. But I think exploration to South Africa is not normal. So later, in the years to come, we also bring all together. And in fact, what I believe that academician should be playing a very, very important role in solving the community problem. So most of research that we are writing in scholarly papers, or it can be Scopus and ISI, WOS. So I believe all of you now really understand the situation already changed if compared to my time 20 years ago. 20 years ago, when I was a lecturer, we are more focused on writing books and also index journal. Any index journal, proofread and editorial board, all that, then we are be recognized by the world. So after last 10 years, or 10 years, 5 years back, the challenges actually become very severe now. So for the promotion or to be lecturer or to be in community of academic community, you need to come out a very good research. And the research can be only done through your doctorate or masters, or you have master student or PhD student. Like me, currently I have about 20, 25, almost 30 students working under me from, I got about 10 from China, different part of China, also working PhD, different topics. And I also got students from other countries, Indonesia, and also from Malaysia, from different background, which I think I'm lucky enough. Thank God for that. I got most of them practitioners working in the high level position. Some of them, so all this research, I told my students, even though they are seniors or junior, the oldest student is 71 years old. He's ex-minister and still active in the politics in Sarawak State, and followed by other students who are in the industry, and also full-time student. The youngest one, I think I have Miss Nada, the youngest one I have in my supervision. So I am very glad to work with them, because whenever I supervise, like you, likewise all of you here, we learn each other actually. Even I learn from the young scholars. I'm even the professor for more than 10 years already, full professor. I'm talking professor, but of course I'll be lecturing for 26 years. And I think what the Cap Comorin Trust, and I really congratulate Little Cloud, you're all very young scholars who are get together under the voluntarily base, not much for the profit making, likewise in other agency. Yeah, they all focus on the money oriented, but we all know we are working voluntarily based. In fact, me, I didn't come for money, and I come for the voluntary base. I spend time, and in fact, I'm traveling from another about 600 kilometers away from my place. I'm on the way, and Dr. Frank asked me to come. Then I just stop somewhere in the nearby in the highway, and I'm talking now. That's what how powerful the internet and IT. Yeah, you can talk anywhere, anytime. Also, that's a power. So I believe the 3 days. Please come and attend. Sometimes I see the attendance. First day, okay. Second day, no, okay. Third day, so please don't have this kind of what they call mindset. Please come and learn from everyone. We all learn each other. All right, and especially we have a lot of speakers that we brought. They are some of them very, very experienced. Even though they're young, but they're very experienced in terms getting grant. And so like tomorrow I bring Associate Professor Dr. Rizwan, very young scholar, below 30, 40, but he already gained a lot of a grant, research grant, and he published a lot of. He was the best scholar for publication in ISI and Scopus, and he have been appointed at very young age. But I don't know personally to him. I only know through the social media. So sometimes I encourage all my friends here. You need to go to the LinkedIn and try to connect. And I'm also there. Try to connect LinkedIn. A lot of scholars around the world. They'll be there, and you can work with them. And this is how I know most of the speakers that I know through the social media, because nowadays access to the data and very good. So again, I don't take the time of the speakers for speaker, but I encourage on behalf of the three organization. So we like to really, really hope that you participate actively, ask many as many questions, and then you will be getting a right answer. Or else we can ask other scholars. So these three association we continue. We'll do the name, but we are planning to have next year. I already talked to Dr. Frank. And we're going to have everybody go to have face to face congress. So we are actually planning to have next year in India. First, we're going to start India, and maybe followed by in Malaysia, and maybe followed by Indonesia. So we want to bring all the scholars, maybe get together and even more interesting to see each other by face to face. So just pray for this, for that this will be successful. And also we are planning to launch one book that we're currently writing now, research methodology in multiple discipline. And I was one of the editor, chief editor, followed by Dr. Frank and Dr. Ariana from Yunus Indonesia, and my friend Dr. Jaya from UMK. We already got about 12, 13 papers from Africa, from India, and from Malaysia and Indonesia. And this is a very good book because explain about the experience of the each scholar, how they've gone through the different part of experience. And I think it's good for you to have a reference. So we are planning to launch this book next year. And I think all of us eager to come and enjoy our maybe 2 days, something like that. And we're also giving a best paper presentation, or maybe some other thing, maybe journal. We also work out with some journals, and hopefully you enjoy the 3 days. So with that, I pray to thanks to Almighty God who are able to assist all of us here and will bless you without any sickness, any fever, and enjoy this seminar and come and learn and sharing. Don't keep yourself sharing. Caring is very important in academic. We all academic. We are the same race. Doesn't matter where you are, India or Malaysia. Everybody the same mind, same thing. Be humble yourself, be humble, be polite, be what they call so many soft skills that I can say. Good heart, and of course the success in your hand. So everybody can be climb the ladder of professor. I believe that everybody have chance. The only thing that humble yourself and share your knowledge and bring a young scholar together with you, and hope you get success. Okay, with that, I thank you very much again. Thanks to all the speakers, all the respected participants, and my lovely students, and also whoever I didn't mention name here. I like to say thanks and welcome, and again enjoy the day. Good night. See you all again. Bye bye.
Thank you, Dr. Balakrishna Parasuraman, sir, for inaugural address. Now I have to introduce our first speaker for 3-day international virtual workshop on research methodology and manuscript writing. Our first speaker is Dr. Halavat Balaji. He's an assistant professor, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Srinidhi Institute of Science and Technology, Hyderabad, Telangana, India. He has 13 plus years of teaching experience. He's handling the subjects cloud computing, database management systems, and etc. He got awards in Research Ratna Award in 2019 for optimal predictive analysis of blood cancer using restricted Boltzmann machine. He guided more than 28 MTech projects. He published 23 research papers on 23 international journals and 5 papers on conferences. He organized more conferences and he attended more many seminars. Now I hand over this section to you, sir.
650. So, what is a research methodology, right? And manuscripting writing. So nowadays, writing the paper. See, BTech converts I have introducing. So, how to write a paper? See, writing a paper. See, it shows the caliber and research of the candidate, either from BTech converts we are introducing, the masters and PhD and postdoc. Everything was a research. Research is a topic which have been researched by the candidate to get a total knowledge on that topic. So completely topic with experimentally the analysis can be taken. Let us say this research methodology. You might be the motivation of this research methodologies, the motivation of research, types of research, research approaches, and significance of research, and research methodology versus with methodologies and scientific methods and knowledge how the research can be done. The research process criteria for good research. Nowadays, the market has been taken for good research. The internships have been introduced, right? So when you have the R&Ds for any company looking for R&Ds, the huge pay, apart the typing right program and other things, new innovation inventories has been taken by the research. So let you more to this. The so what is the research methodology? Any new topic, any trend technologies has been adopted. See big data analytics, right? And machine learning. So when you click on Flipkart or Amazon, concern when you click the mobile, selected pouch, right? Screen guard. We have trained our data with particular the patterns to be related. So no need to customer again go for searching of this pouch and screen guard. So we are training our data. This is also research, right? I trained my data set when a mobile is being selected of this particular model, related pouch along with this screen guard, everything will be reflected. So that will be taken. So when this format, we are we are daily wise life, we are interacted with this. So daily life. So research comes with this innovation. So launching the satellites and everything. So real time, the what we have done, one research has been searching. With this research, take an example of population. And next I'll show you the slides of population categorizing. With this research, any topic, if taken a blood cancer, so earlier we have done in machine learning, the blood cancer, the patients were there. So we have collected from different hospitals of stages of the cancer patients, and we have categorized stage 1, stage 2 and stage 3. So earlier it's a very difficult to recognize the phase 1. Okay, go for therapies and all those things for radiation. So meanwhile, the day by day, said hour by hour also it going to increase the cancer. So which treatment should be done? So what to be done before coming the reports? So it takes time of delay of the reports. So which medicine should be taken? Some doctors may not be aware of that. Some might be come from rural and right, they may not be effort of this coming to the right some big hospitals. So we have taken this categorized by machine learning is the algorithm. Restriction Boltzmann method is the algorithm. By using this algorithm, so give some parameters, right? So in the body which have some samples of blood samples, they call it glucosemia. So that you see the percentage and proteins and all those things we take in the consideration. And what the parameters, if it is match, you can define that. Okay, it's approximately, you can design that it's a second stage. So directly you can go for a medicine and parallel go for the treatment, not to a delay of the candidate, to save the life of the candidate. And similarly, another student also research has been done by earlier swine flu as well as Nipah virus. How the bats has been taken, how, see, we have taken the confirmation, we have collected data from medical field. That research also has been done. So this all comes in the part of research to help the society, right? And then my student has been done the research for the paddy. So so paddy has how the growth, the soil depends on red soil, green, right? Black soil. What is the temperature? How much yield will begin? So what is the temperature? Region wise we have calculated what the hectares will be taken. What the diseases? Again, the leaf diseases we have taken another part of research. So if you go on taking one module, that comes the research. Complete structure on the such topic, that is called research. Then you have to take one topic has selected, that is nothing but the data collecting of information. Suppose the height, I've taken a person, height, weight, age, right, male and female, right, the category, everything. If you take that, all called as the data. If a person have collected data, then we can segregate any diseases. So this age will affect this disease. After 40 and 50 will get heart attacks. And recently we have seen the corona also. We are categorized and taken one number of samples. That's also a process going on for machine learning. And right. So we have sorted that also. So we have taken n number of samples which has been done by the research of medical. Just we are collecting the data and giving some inputs my data to get good result of accuracy. Okay, which vaccine is suitable for age factor. So after C60, 70, they are not remdesivir, that all may not be supported because the heart has been blocked, right? The lungs might be blocked 60 to 70%. So what the doses can be given, say they not have awareness because see, some MNCs hospitals may have awareness, but small hospital they didn't have awareness. So how many remedies where will be given the age factor. So these all parameters we have taken this. That's also research was going on. So research comes with, without a data, we cannot do any research. So you can searching anywhere, either my website, you check by manual, right? Then we make categorize. That is, but it's analysis. So let's you see this identifying. See here, identifying the problem. What is the problem is exactly? What have to do the research? So corona is that. So how many people has been affected? The kids, why not is been much impact on the kids? So age factor, and old people are being affected more. What are the parameters? So we have been collecting the data and define the objectives. So which age? The categorizing, design and development. Then after categorizing, have to design. So these are all segregation, execution, and evaluation. Then you communicate. This all process can be taken. So let you say this another example. Why sky is blue? Why sky is blue? I get a question. Somebody says that, see, the sky, some birds have been flying out. He also one analysis. It's also a thinking analysis. Why the birds are flying? This is the question mark. Why do the birds are flies? That also question mark. So if you say this, the birds, which type of bird it is? I want to go the research, right? Small bird, what is the range of height? See, this all comes again the categorization of your words. That also comes a part of a research. I should look into this further. So if I go on deeper and deeper, that is called a research. See, another person, see a girl, a shopkeeper or is a, you want to be sell her products. I really need to improve my sales. So the sales is very poor. Share lunch and you like cake and the bakery item. So what is happening here? So what are the combinations can be sent? So cake 1 plus 1. So I can increase the rate, but free makes the people to be attracted. It might be 10 rupees or 20 rupees, might be less, but two products can be sold at a time. That also one part of research analysis. Any of this field, any of the domain, right? And experimentally, the result is good or not, that will be analysis. Once you frame the things, it come to the picture of that, then analysis can be done. So what can be analysis, then evaluate, then finally what's the result. So after 1 month, so this combination, how many cakes you have sold with chocolate or pineapple, so which products has been sold more. So I can get any of this result by by any of these products. So I can categorize. See, let you see this graph shows that day by day which cake has been sold more. So I can go for purchase, see, manufacturing of this product but more, the quantity will be increased, this will be lesser, so that I get a gain of my, I didn't get any loss. So the graph says that, so I can go for the graphically. So blindly I cannot go for producing only pineapple cake. I can go for chocolate. More people are offering chocolate cake. So by analysis only I can get the result. And let us see another example. The point of research is again defective answer. Like we do like to with mathematical problem. 1 plus 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. Right? The problem has been known that everyone But what is happening here? The result comes in this path. So here, when you're going to collect the data, so those who want to go for the research, first thing, what primary and secondary data. So primary data is a fresh data who collects, the first person who collects all the data with genuine. It's a first data. Secondary data is already existed is called as second hand data or secondary data. So more priority will be the primary data. The research will be taken primary data. Already existed is secondary data. I have to segregate which part of data I am researching. Already existed or not. So when you go for any research, these two parameters are very, very important for your research. Let us see this. What is a primary and secondary? Both are data. But when you take the first, you are you are the person who have collecting the new things. Secondary is already you have collected, you are analyzing. That is called second hand data. So first primary it is very costly and time. See, time also is going to take more efficiency. Everything will be taken more time. But secondly, already existed, you would have to work much hard. Very quicker time. Can get the result. Already exist data, everything was available. So that we cannot afford of those things. Example. See, I have the doctor or someone, right? He goes all the patients to get the collect of the analysis by phonic or interview, anything, the person to person interacted, some analysis. See, when you're launching a new chocolate, right? So earlier is there same dairy milk chocolate was there. See, same flavor, the chocolate wrapper and everything was similar. If keep on same, nobody going to buy their products. A little bit change the wrapper, color, a small adding of cashew nuts or something. Again, got a new flavor, and you can sell in the market. The people want to be a new taste of this. Change the wrapper, change the color of the wrapper. It looks new, and you have a taste of that. So similarly, the data. So both are similar. The data is both the results are similar, but primary is very difficult. The first get very hard to collect. Let us say this primary. The data someone collects personally. Usually, a group of people gather, especially for the study. Right? Any hot disease are there? Right? Recently, where corona has been stages has been taken. That also gathering the information. Very new experimental. All the doctors have been went with experimentally. They have done all the vaccines they have tested. Right? Covishield, right? Sputnik, Covaxin. Right? This all comes in the part of trial and versions. So all the research has been taken. The research has been taken directly. They not injected to the person. So animals, the monkeys, and all those things. That all comes in this analysis of these reports. Okay, what's the heartbeat of, right? It is affecting on the lungs, or it is affecting on the kidneys, right? How the when you given the injection, how long it is going to be taking place? Any other side effects are reflecting? Very less time they have. Is not called as a fully research, but is a time consent. Very less period and less time they have started their research. I would not comes in the complete part of research. That is, it should be have long term period. 2 to 3 months should be taken for growth, stage by stage. Again, for animal to animal, you have to change. But if the damage is going on, right, they immediately the government has given the permission to release the vaccine. That's also part of a research. See, and what could we change about the cupcake king? It changed to make, right, and finally get succeeded. He was in full with profit of more and more, and finally the company, the other people, media has came. How did you get this bonus? And he has given that reply: 1+1 offer, right? And Valentine Day special with offering 1K. So these are all the offers and everything she has made this to get a good soul of this product. That also comes in the research. Any domain. If you get to real get result. Let us say the secondary research, analysis and synthesis of primary research. That was compiled with previous data. So previously what has happened? Just you are modifying. So you two see, just imagine that a bulb is 230 volts is glowing. You have made a resistor capacitor has been placed. V215 is glowing the bulb. If 215 is glowing a bulb, it's called secondary research. Secondary data already exists. A tube, right? Everything is there. But no need of to prepare everything. Just you have added one resistor, a transistor, to reduce the voltage up to 15 volts. That is also new project, right? It's also research, but it's a secondary research. You call as secondary research. That's the one example, right? So research have to be collected the data, collect the data and the various source, and you have to be thorough with the data. And when you're collecting the data, say day by day, what you have done, you have to write in the paper, or you have to be Google Doc, and what you are searching the browsing internet, collect all the related data. Suppose I want to learn this by using restriction Boltzmann method. How the algorithm works, taken a number of examples in YouTube, taken one example and execute it, and what the problem you are facing there, then implement in this. So that is one research of analysis. See, the person who is walking towards the hill, I climb to the hill on the rock, see here, and suddenly at the end he fallen down. Then he knows that the gravity of earth is down. He realized that the scientist has been taken that, okay, when we go for this, then only it's going to fall in gravity of earth. That also one research. So that is being taken by a person. It all comes in the part of research. So which data had to take? New thing is a primary data. Nobody has been done so far the research. Right? 5G, 6G is adapting. It's a new thing. Already existed, 5 was there. The new is 6G. 6G adapting its speed of data that is existed. 5G recently will update that. So 5G once get the speed of the data that is exist. The 6G is new. So this all comes in the primary and secondary. Both are research, but more weightage will be the primary. Next is, what is the data? Data is an information based on unprocessed form. Is a fact of detailing with statistics gathered by the research, any other person who purpose of reference reason analysis. See, the graph, the data has been information, any of the data. If you take the patients, that is one information. If you collect the population, okay, which party is going to come next, that also prediction. Collecting the data, analysis by person to person when interacting, that also comes in the part of data. Data is a collection of process acquiring the information. Different source, I told you, by person to person, by telephonic, by surveying, by collecting gather of information from the website, a newspaper, other things. That is all comes in the part of collecting different sources where you can collect your data. The function of performance, the research himself or his or her team. So the classification of data is primary and secondary, I told you clearly. So the primary data refers to data collected by a research. A very first time for different source with a particular sources. The problem, the questioning, a specific purpose, and the mind. So primary data can be collected by surveying the person to person, by surveying that satisfaction, right? So feedbacks is also another part of this. Another part is questionnaire. So some questions will be given. So when you go for any conferences also, they'll give the questionnaire. Which part is the first session, second session, third session? Which session was you inspired? Which of the topics are good? Which are related to real time? This all questioning makes the ranking of the subject. So all the parameters can be taken. And next is experimental by showing the result. So the experimentally also we are defining the graph. See, normal person, this is the pulse of the heartbeat, and affected person heartbeat. So we can say that comparison by experiment you can show that okay, a normal heartbeat shows the graph. So ECG, if you take the ECG also normal person graph and affected person, okay, this graph, this microseconds has been infected. Then they say that he is affected from heart disease. A directly interview and the source of getting the information and observation that also comes in the part of. And let you go for observation is if you go for mechanical experiments, right, if you want to make the poles we are right that we are using iron poles, they want to make the plastic just 5 to 6 layers of glass and of different other metals has been layer wise. If you keep all the corrosion, so if you dip in the water for 1 month, they see the layer by layer detaching is strong, how strength it was. So that all comes in the, so person to person, right? As experiment to experiment will be different, observation will be different. And telephonic interview, I told you these are all the parameters we can collect the primary data. And secondary data is a data, secondary data is a data collected by any person, organized agencies, passed through the survey, experimental, study for some other purpose, but used by research deal the problem to be had. So it is second hand data called as. It is second hand, already existed. So secondary data can be collected from newspaper, websites, books, records, and government publications. This all been existed. Earlier primary is very new, very costly, right? I will see the difference of this. So primary data and secondary data. So primary data is gathered and research. These are her team directly from their source of origin for different purpose. And secondary data is referred data being used by the research investigator already gathered some one person or some organization for further purpose. So this is already exists. This is meaning of primary and secondary. And when it comes with real-time data, this is past data. So real-time data is now fresh data. You have been new person who have collected the data. So far it's not been done. The corona, you are the persons who have no disease has been there earlier. Is a flu, but the different variants. Stage by stage is going to be taken its own origin. So how the things to be taken, which dose has been increased, which level doses can be supported. And next is pure and raw. It is refined is already exist. It is second hand data. The pure and raw is it's original data. It's a new you have been collected so far. Nobody has been taken this kind of data. And next is primary data is expansive. Second it is economical, right? Economical. And when it comes first, survey, experimental, interviews, observation, and questioning all will be done by in the primary data. Second is books, journals, and newspapers, internal records, government and publication website will be available. Let us just accuracy and reliability. Is more accuracy and reliability for primary data. Second is compared to less, very less. And first hand information, second hand data is called as second hand information. And next is time consuming is more in the primary, secondary is quick and easy. And collected to the user, same person, here is different person. Same person going to, but here already has been done some modification. So I already told you, I have told the tube light 230 volts is glowing. So you have one transistor has been placed, already existed. You are the different person who has been manufactured everything, who has done the earlier. You are the different. First person, second person will be different. Facts and figures freshly collected by the project, already collected by the record this secondary data. And data related to the object of the research, it is adjusted to the user according to his need. So what are the columns he need, he will pick, but he collected all the columns. So when I want to go for blood cancer is the data, I go leukemia, this all the proteins and we few parameters will be taken. But in the first fresh data, he used to collect all the blood as well as fever, temperature, right? Blood sample, urine samples, everything he will be collected. But when I go for secondary data, I collect only the proteins, other columns has been eliminated. As per my requirement, I'll go for this experimentally. So another example is taken this. So different types of samples were there. One population we have taken. The population, a group of people, has taken an example of this sample versus with the population. Here, primary and secondary data. So primary, all the data was there, but the samples and more observation for the population. So here, how many are attacked with heart disease? So all person may not have heart disease. Again, male and female, age factor. All the population, I cannot go by person and person. It takes more time. I can pick for randomly, systematically, different types of that. It all comes in the investigation by observation of crores of people are there. I cannot go and collect all the samples. Some assumptions can be done. So that is different types of samples and different types of tests can be done. So these are all the sample techniques we have. Simple random sample. Random is either male or female. We didn't bother. Randomly you will go. Age also we won't bother. It's a child, right? Middle age and old age, right? This all are comes in this random sampling, scattered, right? The male and female is there. Here one male, the other female. We are segregated. And systematically after every 2 members, every 3 members, cluster a group of people like slum area, right? Town, cities and village, one cluster. What is the sample, right? Who lives in the forest area, the more affect with the dengue and other fevers, that the group of cluster. Convince sampling. So we'll see one by one how the samplings can be taken. So random sampling, each sample can be equal to probability of given chooser. See here, color wise, here is blue, here is red, right? Brinjal, the violet, black, yellow, green. So different people are there. Here is green, here is green. Randomly, there and there and there. We'll collect and define your population, a group of potential to the subject, and create the list of the members, assign the numbers, and choose a sample size. Okay, group of 10 people I have taken or 20 people. Run the random with example of this. This is random. So here very rare, the result will be very less. We cannot get more accuracy here because here it might be a small child, here might be age of middle age, here might be old age. One parameter we have not mentioned any of the sample we have been collected, so it is cannot get more accuracy, very less accuracy when go for random sampling. And see here, scattered random sampling, you have clustered, right? Take that this is avoid all are male, this all are female. A comparison can be taken between 2, right? So take this 2 example, take this 2 example, and let us see here these 2 examples, male and female. So here male and female, so what are the when they're going to get heart attacks or any disease, what are the parameters, how did he get the cancer, which stage they will get the cancer, right? So what are the habitual of this person? The male and female. So we can comparison can be done because they have different category. We have segregated. So for each group, random sample. So this is a different scenario. This is also gets a good yield or good accuracy. And cluster. Cluster, I told you the population. If you town, village, right, right in rural and forest, the stages will be different. The parameters will be different. The clustering is also another sampling of collection, right? And systematic every two people have been collected. It might be male or female. We are not clustered. So this also comes a very good results. Systematic is comes good sampling and convinced sampling. It is also necessary for representing a group of people, higher probability of getting the basic samplings. Here, all the group people we have taken with convincing who have been more affected. You can identify whole the general population and study investigation with proper. So objective of research. So to gain the familiar with phenomena of achieve a new insight of this. So time won't permit, I think. So I go for research writing of the paper. The motivation of research is a desire to get a research degree along with consequent benefits, desire to face the challenges and solution of unsolved problems. The practical problems, see, it takes more and more practically needed. So finally, see, accuracy to increase, if you get 92, 93, 95. So n number of experiments you have to take time. That's I told you fresh data, primary text takes more time. So when you get any paper writing, the result analysis, what introduction, abstract, and everything, regarding the result analysis, the paper will be accepted. Scopus, right? Springer and other things are there. SEO journals, it takes 2 years. Totally depends upon result analysis. By result, what are the parameters, x-axis, y-axis you have taken? So how many samples you have collected? What type of data it was? The primary or secondary? Which algorithm makes you effective graphically you are represented? So all comes in the parameter of showing your strength of your paper. Descriptive with analytics, applied with fundamentals, quantitative with quantity, and conceptual with empirical, and some other types of research. So scientific research also we have most of the students who are writing for masters and PhDs, thesis, research maybe means a career. High position to the social structure. This is called as the research is the backbone of our nation. Any inventories, any research, it will be helpful to our nation. All the technology we have, IoTs and other things we have been adapted. AI. So all are being philosophers, the thinkers, the research means to be felt with idea of. And let us say this research writing paper, research, a part of research. What is a part of research? You will see. Research is a plain inquiry about involving the study something, the panel of manner. Research can be potential and replace of the problem and it can be process of choosing. The research of knowledge through objective finding the solution of the problem in the research. The part of research paper is it should be have the title of the paper and abstract, introducing research questioning, hypothesis, aim and objectives, methodology, what the methodology you are using, the results, preparation for the finding, analysis, and interpretation, and discussions, and conclusions, and references. So where do you get this data? So anybody refers your paper should know the reference, the abstract, the title is very, very important, right? If it is which category, it comes. The title decides. Instead of reading all the paper or 5 pages or 6 pages of your paper, the title is which domain is related by using machine learning, by using big data analytics. So this all comes in the part of segregation of your paper. Here another thing is that introducing the research questioning, hypothesis, aims and object. What did you done the real time with this? How did you useful for the society? What are the methodologies you have used? What are adapted you existing? What is that new? What you have proposed? Preparation of finding and title of the paper. The following parameters can be used to help in formalizing suitable research paper title, the purpose of the research, narrating tone of the paper, and the methods are used. Avoid using the abbreviations and use word creating the positive impression and similarity with reader interest. And correct normally for finding the fields, the abstract. When it comes to the abstract part, when it comes for the abstract part, when it comes for the abstract part, if not assume too much, highlighted item of the importance, state the problem, say why it was interesting problem, say what your solution to be achieved, and it should be easy to understand. And usually write this abstract last. Introduction. What should be included in the introduction? Introduction is your topic, what you have research has been related, create some context of the background. So if you take data mining or network security, take an example. What is the cryptography, how it's going to take in place, what the techniques are used, encryption, decryption. If you go for embedded other things, right? What the chip, Raspberry chip, what I have used, IoT. If you take the IoT, what the application you have used, what is the Raspberry device you have used. It all comes in the part of introduction and basic architecture, how it works. Where did you get this topic? What level you have interested? That all are comes in the part of this phenomena. And let us say this. Let us say this. Tell your reader about. Tell about reader about the research you plan and carry out. Stay your rational. Explain why the research is important. And stay your hypothesis. Literature review to attain a good knowledge of the field of inquiry facts. Literature review. So how many papers you have reviewed? So you can write down our Excel sheet or adapt the students to give a literature review. So how many papers they have referred, what journal they have referred, which year, what's the other, what this abstract says that, our conclusion. Let them to go for read abstract and conclusion, title, the particular domain, you can suggest them, and methodology. So when you're reading your paper also, see when you have taken, suppose I have taken already research known, this is writing of the paper, select which domain, data mining. So all the data mining, which techniques are there, download 5 or 10 papers, same domain, go for abstract and conclusion. If a little get concerned with this, you'll get able to read this paper, you can able to understand, then such a paper you can segregate. And later on among them, again you pick one latest paper, what is the exit system, everything, you write down, or you go for browsing in the internet, or see the title and browse in the YouTube, what type of technologies are there, how they're adapted. So they're all synonym, right? Examples you can take. Methodology is common to the field. Propose research in real need. Help to narrow of the problems. generate the hypothesis and research questioning for the studies. This all comes with the study of interest. And methodology is very, very important. The algorithm makes you see. If I take an example of network security, Sairam is my password, Krishna Krishna Rama Rama Hare, that all comes in the salts. The 5 pages of some algorithm makes a desa blowfish other algorithm. The similarly, which methodology you are using, that should be very clear. Step by step procedure of your algorithm with example, and that there should be results analysis should be shown. Stage wise, this is the graph with x-axis and y-axis. You should be given clear explanation. And many of paper have seen that the paper graph will be there, no explanation of that graph. What the parameters have taken, what the graph is leads to be, x-axis and y-axis should be clearly given the explanation with diagrams of this each graph, and derivation of these instruments and must be derived describable. A result is another very, very important. Structure and approach. The total paper comes in the weight of your result analysis. When the result, that is the final, what you have written the exam of 6 subject, finally it reflects on your result. The result is very, very important of your research. According to result, you can justify that your paper is good. And 4 is a more research paper format. The 2 ways of presentation organizing the result. The presentation result followed by a short explanation, finding it might be, and presenting the section with a discuss before presenting the next session. So discussing is so on. So one paper to paper should be clear. See, the parameters has been taken to make the goal and other things are takes by layer. So similarly, all your result analysis should be step by step, very clear. You have to mention first step this happens, second is this, second, third step this. So that makes a clear of your algorithm. In general, the content of the result, select individual and follow the elements. Summary is very, very important. A key finding arrangement with logical sequences. The formula, how the formulas to be adapted. As per the formula, the results is being, how the results is being reflected on the screen. You have been doing your lappy or somewhere else, but how it's going to be in paper. I didn't have lappy and other things, right? You should be step by step with the formula. With this formula, this is the output. This is the accuracy. You can tell you by the formula, so it should be mentioned very clear. And formula with numbering also should be given. And non-textual elements, the photos, maps, and tabs, right? Illustrating the figures also very important. Highlighting the most relevant results topic under the investigation. I told you very clearly x-axis and y-axis with clearly what the graph is, where it is going to end, what is the range of low and high, why it is a red color and green color, a blue color with red color. So what is the parameters should be given very clearly, so that the other scrutiny also very easy to understand your paper. So first time is going to be accept your paper, and the page length of the result session will be guided by the amount type of data to be reported. So say if you go on increasing the paper also, when IEEE conference, others also they charge more. But if his stuff is there, you can go and implement it. Don't bother about your price and other things. And focusing the important of related your data. Next is discussions. The purpose of discussion is interpreted. Describe the significance of research finding. There are general rules for composition of decision with the result, not to be repeated. The concept to make of the point is clear, and flow the logical streams of thoughts. It should be logical things should be mentioned, and use the web tense and especially establishing the facts. However, the specific work should be given to this, and I need to be if you need to be subheadings like helping of this organize the presentation, good interpreted with the themes. So research is empirical, relevant concepts, objective concerns, adequate, right, and correct. The statement should be population is another example I have told you. The population and cake example I have taken, right? The hill, the person who travels and suddenly fall down, that is also experimentally has proven that the earth has gravity. So here conclusion and through the replication. Its main formulated general to axiom of the terms is scientific theory. A research process of formulating research problem, first thing, and expansive literature survey, developing work with hypothesis, and preparation of research design, determine the sample design, collection of the data, execution of the project, analysis of the data. The formatting research is it should be in the structure literature where it is background of data mining, work of hypothesis, which formula you have been used, prepared with the research samples has been collected. It might be a paddy, it might be hot disease, it might be a corona. All are comes with concern. Collect the data and execute the project. And conclusion is it is not merely to summary of your points, a restatement and research problem, but synthesize to key points. Writing the conclusion of the paper, follow journaling rule. State your conclusion with clear. The conclusion should be given overall description, the language, and do not simply retrieve with the result of discussions. Indicates opportunity for the future and then see where it's going to implement further. That should be done in conclusion. Along with this, we can not done the discussion with session of your paper. So thank you. Any questions?
Dear participants, if you have any questions, you can ask.
So this is my mail ID, and you can browse, right?
Yes.
Citations also will be getting H index citation, right? This is my mail ID. So you can type, right, H indexing.
Okay. Um,
Any questions? Let you.
we can see it, please.
Sir?
Yes. I have a question. I have some questions to ask, please.
Sir, tell me.
I have some questions to ask you, please.
Sir, continue. Yes?
Yes, my name is Harun Ibrahim. Yes, my name is Harun Ibrahim. I'm a medical practitioner from Ghana.
Okay, sir.
I must say, Dr. Balaji, your presentation is very nice. I have really enjoyed it and learned a lot from you. I have some couple of questions to ask you, please. My first question is, in reference to your experience as a researcher, can you please hear me?
Sir?
Hello.
1 second, can you repeat? Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Sir?
Can you hear me, please? Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah. I can
Yes,
hear your
can you
voice,
hear
sir.
me?
Tell me once.
Okay. Okay, so my question is, with your experience
Okay.
as a researcher, between primary and secondary data, so with your experience as a researcher, between primary and secondary data, which is more reliable if you are given an option to choose?
See,
With
more
your
is
experience as
primary.
a researcher, international researcher, between
See,
primary and secondary data, which is more reliable if you are given an option to choose one?
Sir, first one is primary is more reliable. Hello, can you hear my voice?
You said primary is more reliable.
More reliable is primary because you are the new person who have been shown the experimentally.
Hello.
The second person is different person. What you have done,
Super.
research the columns,
Can you hear
right?
me?
Number of samples you have collected. But he never collect all the samples. He go for direct of his execution. Hello. You might
Hello,
be
doctor.
collected. The primary person collected 20 columns, but secondary no need of collecting all the 20 columns. Among this 20, The 4 or 5 columns has been chosen for his project. Can you hear my voice? Sir, it's audible. It's clear you out. Sir, is audible? Is it audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Yeah. Always the primary gets more weightage and more. See, it is expansive in time also it takes more. Because you are the design, you have taken all the data. Somebody has to read your data. That is second person. Different person. That I have given the differentiation of primary and secondary also. The secondary is very quicker, very easy. Any questions? Is clear, sir? Is audible? Actually, time slot
Yes,
is
sir,
very less. I
audible.
thought of giving one example. I thought of giving one example also, but as per time concerned, I cannot take any example. If next time any opportunity is given, definitely I'll show you with example. So result analysis, how the primary and secondary. It takes time. So I have taken the first class, first session is given. So this part, so I have to give only introduction, brief introduction about the writing of.
Yeah, you made mention that the
Hello. Uh,
primary data is more reliable.
Sir, it is not audible. Primary
Doctor,
data
doctor.
is more effective, sir.
Okay.
It's not audible. Your voice is cracking, sir. I
Can
cannot.
you hear me?
Also, can you text?
Can you,
Sir, can you text otherwise? Can you mail it to my mail ID or right? Can you text to my mobile number? Our mail ID is there. I'll share the PPTs you have. I cannot hear your voice. It's
all right, sir.
cracking.
Thank you.
Sure, sir. I will help you in
Okay,
this
thank
regard.
you. Thank you. All right, thank you.
Any other questions?
Hello. Good evening, sir. I have a question
madam.
to ask. Thank you, sir, for
Okay, madam.
helping us with the basics of research methodology. Sir, I have a question regarding the
Madam.
observational study and experimental study. Like, for instance, I know that if an intervention is given, it is termed as experimental. But on the contrary, I have also seen titles of study like it states that an observational study to show the efficacy of so and so medicine in so and so disease. So, sir, here the
Exactly.
intervention was given, but still the term observational study was used. Can you please help
Introduction.
me clear
See, experimentally, we say that
this doubt?
accuracy. We
Why?
are trying to give first, second, third. These all are called as first experiment. You got 92% accuracy. Third experimental, you have got 93. And fourth, you have just incremented with other parameters 95. These all your observations. So by observing that, we can conclude the third step is third experimentally, we can prove that it is efficient more because the 95 percentage. So you all experiments your observation have to be taken. You're trying for accuracy more and more. It's clear, I think so, madam.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Next, any questions? Any questions? Let you. Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving this opportunity. Is it audible, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Audible.
Dr. Balaji, can you hear me, sir? Yeah, can you hear me, sir? Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
tell
sir.
me.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah, okay. So my question, my other question is, between
Sir.
primary and secondary data, which is which is dependent on each other in terms of pre-research, during the research, and post-research.
Okay. Okay.
Did you get my question, sir? Did you get my
Primary
question,
research.
sir?
Little bit louder. It's
Yeah, I
cracking.
said my question is that yeah,
Okay.
my question is that between primary and secondary data, which is dependent on the other during pre-research, intra-research, that is during research and post-research, with your years of experience. How can you explain to me? Thank you.
I'm not getting right. It is cracking. Once again, can you repeat the question?
Sir, if you
Okay,
don't mind, Bala,
my
sir. One second, Haruna Ibrahim. Shall I answer him, sir?
Sir, hello.
Hello, Bala, sir, this is Dr. Murthy.
Sir. Sir. Hello.
Sir, can you hear me?
Hello, sir.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
He is asking primary data and secondary data, which is dependable on the other,
Hello.
which is reliable. Simple question, sir.
So primary data is reliable, sir.
Yeah.
I given the differentiation also. First,
You
primary
answered.
data is reliable.
He could not listen to you, I think.
Yeah, I have given clearly of differentiation, cost effect. I have given differentiation, primary and secondary, reliable, accuracy, time, cost, every parameter I have given. So picking of research students is better, because if you go for PhD of research, the 4 years, 5 years of research, go for primary. For writing paper, right, for emergency of their need, they can go for secondary. Already existed. So little bit modification, algorithm should be modified. That can be gone for less period of time. So with short period of time, you can publish a paper like 6 months, 8 months, like Scopus, then go for secondary. If you have time, okay, everything is there, you can go for primary. The research, PhD research are there, 4 papers to be published. So chapter wise. So once you take the primary data, it's very effective. And your thesis will be evaluated very fast, because you have taken the primary data, all the sequence papers will be displayed. So what your work has been done is reflects. It's continuity process. The paper is linked to second paper is linked to third paper is linked to fourth paper, order related to the same. So such a things to be adapted only primary data. Any questions? I hope it is
okay,
clear.
sir. Thank you. Yeah, it's clear. I follow up to the very answer you gave me, sir. You said primary data is more reliable with your experience. Very good.
Exactly.
Thank you. Yes, I want to ask the question follow up to
You can
the
mail
very
me.
answer.
My mail
Yeah.
also is there.
Yes, I want all of us to benefit from the questions. That's why I want to ask you, so that if you can explain to us, I'll be very happy. In reference to the answer you gave me, and you gave us, sorry, with the primary and secondary data, that you said the primary data is more reliable to the secondary data. Is it in terms of location of your research? 1. 2, is it in terms of resource availability? 3, is it in terms of the topic of the research? And then 4, is it in terms of the area of the research? This is where I want you to answer for me. Sir, thank you.
Right, sir. Any other questions? You can mail me anything regarding this. I will help you in this regard. And citations will also increase, right? If you go on keeping for good papers, you can type my name. Citation will be reflect in your Google. So that will be takes your caliber of your research papers, the weightage of your papers. So if a good journals are published and somebody paper will be referred, that automatically citation will be H index, I index. That formula will be there as per the time permit, right? It's two. Think I next. It is 8 o'clock. 6 to 7. My schedule, I think so. So thank you for this giving this opportunity. Any questions? Let you, sir.
So may I ask you one thing?
Yeah, tell me.
So can you define the objectives of the research one more time?
Tell me.
So can you define the
Yeah, madam.
objectives of the research one more time, please?
Objectives of research. Research has to be taken
Yes.
first data. Then
Okay.
then after getting the data, what problem should be analyzed from this data? What problem statement you have to. Then next problem, once you define the problem statement, then which algorithm is going to support? Among the 5 algorithms, which is efficiency? Experimentally, you have to do all the algorithms. Which is more efficiency? Then conclude it, give the results. Collecting data is very, very important. In the sense of if it reaches the paper, if it like I belong to CSE background, I go for big data analytics. So by using big data analytics, how many papers
Sorry,
have
sir,
been
you're
published
not
by
clearly audible.
researching? It's see actually Wi-Fi is not working. I have connected to my mobile. A little bit bandwidth. I have
Okay.
internet problems there. So anyhow, it's audible right now.
Okay.
Yes, sir, audible.
It's audible, ma'am. Yeah. So this all comes with this data is primary data should be data is very, very important. Any of the research without data you cannot. So after getting the data, what the problem you have identified. So 10 columns you have identified, you have collected the data. Example of the candidate, age, disease. Among the disease only you have concentrated hot disease, then segregate. You want to do with hot disease, not other diseases. But person to person interacting, one might be cancer, one might be from thyroid, one might be other disease. But you are focused only for hot diseases with age of some parameters you have taken, like kids, like small hole on the heart. So these are all the segregations. That is problem statement. After problem statement, you'll go for algorithms. So such a cases are there. Which drug should be used? Severity, right? So size of the hole. So what the drug should be used? So if you've done this algorithm, if you have designed this algorithm, this program has been designed, that will be useful to society. So when doctor knows that in the rural also they go for the same drug, the universal drug will be there. The curing will be very similar. The doctor to doctor may give the different drug. So that may be leads to effect of their liver and other things, side effects. Provide that. See, the common research has been MNC that we can share to even rural people of the doctors. That's the one type of research. Hope you understood, madam.
So you're talking about the research perspective. I just asked the objectives of the research.
Objective of research is have given you, no, madam, earlier also. Objective of research is especially have take your see one PPT I have shared you. The main aim is research to be find out with hidden. What is exactly it was hidden. So data should be collected, problem statement should be find out, and grouping of your data with which technology is adapted.
Okay, sir.
Three things should be taken.
So one more
It's-
thing may I ask
yeah.
you? So if it is research done on awareness,
Yeah, tell me.
for the awareness, is it a good research or not so worthy research?
If you want to go for awareness,
If it's the concept of research is for awareness, so is it good research or is it not worthy?
it's worthy, madam. Questioning and feedback. Hello? The parameters you can take, right?
Yes, sir.
It's worthy.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.